Thanks a lot, Kevin Corla. There was quite a bizarre story a couple of weeks ago, but which illustrated a very important point about the position of Ireland in the world and the role that it plays in terms of supporting and facilitating US imperialism. It was the story about the massive US Air Force jet landing in Baldonnel. I and many others asked a whole bunch of questions about it, and then what emerged was that the pilot had landed there because he had wanted to go and see the cliffs of Moher, and he had gone down low, had been facilitated by the air traffic controllers, had taken a picture, and so on. But it highlighted the fact of relatively significant numbers of US military planes stopping in Ireland. This plane, I've asked, and I didn't get a clear answer, and so I have to presume that it was not inspected for weapons. Maybe the Taoiseach can provide any information if, in fact, it was inspected. We also didn't know, the question was not answered in terms of whether this plane was involved in military actions recently, or military exercises recently, or what it was en route to do. And it highlights the point of Ireland being used as a warport by the US military en route to the Middle East. And clearly, all uses of Shannon Airport, Baldonnel, and everywhere else by the US military should be ended.
Thank you.
And Ireland, along with our European colleagues, have introduced and are going to introduce sanctions. We declared at the EU meeting last week, we agreed on concrete steps to protect our citizens, including introducing new sanctions. We've called on all airlines to avoid Belarusian airspace and commencing work to ban Belarusian airlines from European Union airspace. And Minister Ryan supported calls for a transparent and independent investigation at a special meeting of the International Civil Aviation Organization, which was held on the 27th of May. We have concerns for Roman Protasevich and indeed Sofia Sabega. We call for their immediate and unconditional release. And I think there was a debate on that yesterday in the House. But we will continue to work on that. We believe in a strong response is required, that this is not acceptable and this crosses a line. In terms of the China situation that has been raised, again, as I said earlier, we do and consistently raise these issues both individually and along with our European Union partners and the wider international community in respect to the Uyghur community in terms of what's going on there, in terms of the restrictions on freedom of religion and belief, arbitrary detention, widespread surveillance, forced labour, forced sterilisations and birth control in Xinjiang, and also we raised the matter in our national statement.
We're sorry, we're actually out of time for this section.
Okay, so maybe I just conclude just quickly.
Very briefly.
That we've raised the matter on a national statement at the UN Human Rights Council on the 15th of March, and likewise in terms of Hong Kong, the European Union has made a number of very clear statements regarding the situation in Hong Kong, including most recently on the 11th of March. And again, it's a matter of regret that fundamental freedoms, democratic principles and political pluralism that are central to Hong Kong's identity and prosperity are under increasing pressure by authorities. And we're working with our EU partners to do everything we can to raise these issues, and the matter has been raised by the Minister of Foreign Affairs with the Ambassador of China in Dublin during his 30th of May meeting with the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi.